I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Welcome to tonight's council meeting. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Bustos?
Here.
Henning?
Here.
Gorman? McDowell?
Here.
Kelly?
Here.
York?
Here.
Farmer?
Here.
I move to excuse Tim Gorman tonight due to family illness.
Second.
I have a motion to excuse Mr. Gorman by Ms. Kelly, with a second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Looks like we have two reports from the clerk, so if you would, please.
First, you have before you the council work session minutes of April 16th, 2026.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the work session minutes by Mr. Henning with a second by Ms. Kelly. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes pass.
And you also have before you the council meeting minutes of April 16th, 2026.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Henning to approve the minutes with a second by Ms. Kelly. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes pass. We have no old business, and we have three ordinance tonight as new business. So, clerk, if you would please read the first one.
Ordinance 005-2605, an ordinance amending Section 351.06 of the Clayton Codified Ordinance entitled Commercial and Heavy Vehicle Parking Regulated.
Evening, Mayor, evening, Council. What we were presenting to you tonight is we wanted to clarify and simplify the language that we currently have to oversized parking, 35106 in the codified ordinance. Presently, the language that we currently have, it commingles the oversized and trailer parking. With the suggested modification, this would strictly, under 35106, strictly govern the oversized vehicles, and it provides dimensions and exceptions such as delivery and recreational vehicles for a certain amount of hours. And then we would also like to have a separate provision that also simplifies the trailer parking and for how many hours you can do it and so on, and not allowing them to be, again, placed on the roadway unhooked from any motor vehicle. There's also, finally, another provision as well about putting vehicles for sale or washing them or repairing them on the roadways. It also keeps the debris from entering storm drains, complying with EPA, and so on.
All right, that sounds good. What is the, what's the penalty for violation?
They're minor misdemeanors, and that's the other thing that it also addresses as well for the penalty section. With the current sections that we have, we do not have a new penalty for each day. You could essentially be out of compliance, and once out of compliance, then we'd have to fall back onto our 30308 section and have to rely on towing the vehicle. This one provides additional teeth to say, hey, you're not just going to be able to allow this vehicle to be out of compliance and then for us to continue to be behind the eight ball. That has been tested before, and we've had to go through that. So this would also help clean that up, and that's for every single provision that we're providing today.
Great, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
I'll move for approval of the first ordinance before us.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Henning to approve the ordinance with a second by Ms. Kelly. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? And the ordinance passes. If you'd read the next one, please.
Ordinance 005-2606, an ordinance adding a new section 351.15 entitled Trailers, Towed Vehicles Parked on Streets, Limited Hours to the Clayton Codified Ordinances.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, I have a motion approved by Ms. Bustos with a second from Mr. Henning. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the ordinance passes. If you would please, clerk, on the last one.
Ordinance O05-2607, an ordinance adding a new section, 351.16, entitled Selling, Washing, or Repairing Vehicles Upon Roadway to the Clayton Codified Ordinances.
Move for approval.
I have a motion by Ms. Kelly to approve the ordinance with a second by Ms. Bustos. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ordinance passes. We've arrived at our point for visitor comments. Oh. All right, a full list tonight, but not a lot of yeses. So what I like to do is I will call your name if you checked yes, and at the end, if you had changed your mind over the course of hearing some other folks speak, you can raise your hand and we'll bring you up. So I have first up here, Ms. Joe Sider.
Joe Sider, 5902 Mount Royal Drive, Clayton, Ohio. Okay, we received a letter from the city about Hunter's Path, the final plan that was not passed by the Planning Commission. It was voted 2-2, so it was voted down, and then it's going to go to the council at your next meeting. So I would wish that you guys would reconsider and have another planning commission meeting and follow the processes that you have in place. There was a lot of ideas that were brought up about maybe putting trees in front of the Westbrook along the road to dress it up, make the Hunter's Path look nice, that people would want to come and buy houses there, and also make Clayton look good. I'm not against the plans. It's just I wish that you would follow the processes that you have in place. You know, there was other ideas that were brought up, but they were not added to that motion. It was passed with what the staff had suggested, and so they didn't add anything. But, you know, of course, it got voted down. Okay. Another thing, with this letter that we got, I went out to look at the plans, and it takes you to the Planning Commission agenda in the area where you can look at the plans, but the link is, it goes out to the May 26th meeting, which has been canceled because there's no items for it. And when you click on more details, it doesn't take you to any of the plans. So then I thought, well, let me go back to the March 23rd, which was the first, when they brought it to the Planning Commission for the first time. And if you click on more details there, you don't see any plans either. So it'd be nice if you could update the website and maybe send the letter out again to the people that might want to look at the plans, rather than have to come up to the city. And I just had a question about, like, if you had a broken down vehicle, is that, I wish there was a little bit more detail on this, because how many hours do you have before you have to get the vehicle off the street before you might be towed? Or is it a simple flat tire, but you can't get it fixed till the next day or so, do you have to get it off the street? It'd be nice if we had a little bit more detail on some of the resolutions that you, ordinance that is, that you voted on tonight. So, I guess be nice if we could find this, and then if there is already hours there, we can look at it. Okay, I guess that's all I have, and like I said, I just wish you would reconsider having another planning commission meeting and follow the processes that the city has put in place. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Iyer.
Can you address that?
I can address that. That actually is the process, Mayor, that once something goes to the Planning Commission, then it comes to council, whether they turn it down or whether they don't, whether they pass it. So that is actually the process. The Planning Commission is just an advisory committee. So the council, of course, will have the opportunity to do whatever they think is proper and can put conditions on anything that the council wants to do. So you'll have that opportunity.
Just for the record, I want to repeat the question for the record, that it has to go to the Planning Commission twice before going to council. Is that your question?
That is incorrect, yeah. You might be confusing that with ordinances with council. That does go twice, but.
And actually, oh, sorry, yes, I was going to ask Chief Nabel to come back up to answer the other question regarding the parking timeframe.
Yes, specifically speaking about disabled vehicles and flat tires and so on, within the legislation, inside that, you'll see that refers to disabled vehicles, allowing that as a cutout, because what that means is they don't have mens rea for the thought of the crime, because it's not necessarily crime or traffic, but what it does is it governs disabled vehicles, and that's under our 30308 section. So it has to direct you, so it's not so large within that legislation, but as you're looking at that and you say, hey, I've got a disabled vehicle or a trailer or oversized vehicle, it does redirect you within that section, if it is disabled, to 30308. So that's within our codified ordinance already there. It's 48. Mm-hmm.
Do you mind just finishing up that the question about how long recreational vehicles can be parked?
Yes, recreational vehicles also has a carve-out within inside the ordinance for oversized vehicles, and that is 12 hours within a 24-hour period. Absolutely.
Thank you, Chief. The only other yes I have here is Mr. Earl Harleman.
Just making sure it's not on. Earl Harleman, 6420 Lavon Court, Parks Director. This time of year is our lull time. Only thing we're looking at for right now is now for the fireworks coming up. We're contacting Kroger for the 700 hot dogs. We're looking at to get the snow cone machines and the other machines that we need, and we're going to put it all together. We'll have another meeting this week coming up next week, and we'll have it all in place and be ready to go, even though it's not until September. But right now, we're just kind of being relaxed. So we're going to have fun. We got the all parks picked up from all the limbs and things like that, and I was up to our park and I talked to the boys and they said, man, it was easy cutting. All the limbs were gone, blades are good, and they're not sharpening them as much as they have to. So we did a good job as parks, and I was glad that everybody helped. We had a couple over here really helped hard and things. I'm got to look at them because they were really helped us and things like that. So, but lawnmowers are running good, and boys are working hard, so that's all that counts. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Earl. Has anyone changed their mind on coming up to speak? It's brought to my attention we might have some students here tonight trying to meet a school requirement, and I'd like to afford you the opportunity to come and introduce yourself and maybe share with us what your future aspirations are. So. Well, okay, I'll take that as a pass. But I would like to open up the podium to you. I mean, we're glad you're here, glad you're meeting your requirement here, choosing with Clayton. And I apologize to previous meetings where maybe some students had sneaked by. But, okay, we've got one. Come on up. We could certainly ask the school to add that to their form.
Hello. Okay. I am not a student. Well, I'm not here for the student. I'm here as a scout solely. My name is Colleen Schmalhofer. I am per troop 47? 5407, and we are currently here for our citizenship in the community merit badge to attend the city meeting and write down an issue that is being discussed and why it may be disagreed with and why it might not be why it is being discussed and who may oppose it and who may be with it. And what are your future aspirations? What? That was it. It's your turn.
So my name's Anna Forshaw. I am also here for Scouts in the same troop as Colleen, but I am also here to fulfill my requirement for school.
Special 2-for-1 deal for you then. All right, well, thank you, ladies, for coming up. I appreciate that. I'm always curious about future aspirations. When I was your age, I wanted to be an astronaut, and you can see how things turned out. So it's always exciting to look back and see what, in your future, look back and see what you wanted to do and where you ended up. So Godspeed to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other students? Going once, going twice. Well, all right then. I'll take that as a pass. So the city manager report, if you would please, Ms. Whitman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. A few updates for you this evening. Wanted to update you on the MVCC natural gas aggregation. As previously reported, the MVCC Aggregation Committee adopted a resolution accepting the city of Clayton into the aggregation program at the earliest possible date. And we have since received confirmation from Archer Energy that they have agreed to amend the master agreement to allow Clayton to enter. So they went in turn extended the contract for another 11 months to April 2028 to keep the fixed rate of 0.6625 cents per CCF. So residents will receive a letter in late August with this information and the option to opt out if they would like. Otherwise, it will go into effect in November of this year. Also wanted to provide you with a Hoke Road update this evening. So by the, yes, we all, yes, have, yes, we'll just leave it at the Hoke Road update. By the end of the week, actually, they plan to have the sewer line installation complete. So they are moving along. And once that is complete, the AES will then move the poles back from the current road. So hopefully any intermittent outages of electric, cable, internet, that will soon be gone once those poles get moved back. And they're going to be reinstalled farther back into the right-of-way, the new right-of-way. So then once those poles are moved, then we begin with the road and walking path. So again, we're all still set to finish up in October. So hopefully, yes, no knocking on wood with that one. Also, I did prepare something because with the Hunter's Path for, Phase 4, wanted to just kind of give a little update to the public and council. So just as a refresher, Hunter's Path 4 is in the final development stage, and it is a straight RSD, so residential single-family detached zoning district. This is different than what we've seen with our PDDs, where we have more of an interactive process of being able to dictate more of where we want trees planted or where we want certain amenities to be placed, where RSD tends just to go straight with zoning. Not that we can't request the trees, which again can be done during the public hearing process with the developer, but it's the process is different than maybe what we've seen with other developments with where we can dictate more of those amenities and trees. But as Ms. Sider said, in March of 2026, the Planning Commission reviewed the final development plan, and a motion to approve with condition resulted with that 2-2 vote, which, failed the recommendation and disapproved it rather than tabling it. Following the meeting, staff worked to better understand the basis of the split vote, and it appears that the concerns had been influenced by more the supporting technical materials weren't necessarily supplied rather than anything with the main plan. So the grading plan, the stormwater detention information, and traffic analysis was not included in that final development plan presented to Planning Commission. However, the thought was that the traffic study was actually already approved in the preliminary process, so didn't think it needed to be resubmitted, but again, we can certainly provide that. We will be providing that to council in the next meeting packet, as well as the grading and stormwater plans. These will have to be submitted via a Dropbox because they are over 500 pages. So they won't necessarily be in your packets, but we will get them to you. So with that, we understand the desire for full transparency. So we want to make sure that council has this information when you go to look at it for the vote. Whew, okay, so when basically we did look at ways to bring this back to Planning Commission. One was reconsideration, but we technically, again, there were quorum concerns because, again, we are down one Planning Commission member. Scheduling because it is during the holiday, so again, not knowing if we'd get enough people. It would move it back basically to late summer, early fall. For it to even get to council. So we were just trying to, again, as Joyce noted, that given these factors along with the city charter indicating that it can go straight to council, because although Planning Commission is very important, it is an advisory commission, so therefore it can go straight to council. So those public hearing notices for the May 21st council meeting have been sent. And I do want to acknowledge and publicly apologize to council that I did not notify you of that prior to those notices being sent out. So I will do better with that. But also, I have heard some concerns from residents regarding some items with the Phase 4 of Hunter's Path, which I would just like to say that the developer must restore the creek after, upon completion, before leaving the project, before releasing the bond. The creek has to be restored to its natural way it was before or better. So, and then the approval and oversight of this project, we have Montgomery County Soil and Water, we have Ohio EPA, we have engineers all looking over this project to make sure, especially that creek is restored. So again, I apologize if this did not seem transparent the way this came across, but I am trying to get it out there now. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
With you being down a staff member, you're doing fantastic. And I would put that on the record. You're doing great. We understand things can fall through the crack. So thank you for that.
I have a quick question. Since this is going to come to City Council, all of those steps that would be done regardless of how it had gone through Planning Commission will still happen, right? All the construction reviews, all the engineering reviews, all the EPA reviews, everything, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Shortcuts.
No, there is no shortcuts. It will still go through all the processes it must to. And then, before it goes to the next phase or, again, once the infrastructure is done, they have to approve that before they do anything, move on to, starting the road. So.
I have another question that I was going to ask Mr. Harlemer when he was up here, and I wasn't sure. I'm sure you know the answer. Does the shelter unit at the park at Levon Court need to be rented from the city for, like for a family to use, or is it first come, first serve?
It's first come, first serve.
Okay, thank you. If we could maybe put that on the social media. I've had a couple people ask about birthday parties for kids and stuff, and I wasn't sure. I was thinking it was that, but I couldn't find anything on the website also.
Sure, I'll
Thank
be
you.
happy to get that on there. And speaking of special events and things like that, just want to end my city manager's report with, we do have Sweep Clayton Clean. Our spring edition will be Saturday, May 16th from 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. or until the, thank you, yes, are full. So that's at 200 Woolry Lane.
All right, thank you, Elaine. And also take it from Hunter's Path Phase 4, that Planning Commission recommendations have been turned down several times as they've come to council. And so we're sort of getting the reverse this time, which tells me that as council, we need to take if we're going to go against the disapproval recommendation, council needs to do their homework on this, that if it's, this final plan is going to be approved. Now, just leave it at that. So, anything else, Elaine?
I think I said enough. I appreciate your time this evening.
All valuable words. Thank you. We are to our council and mayor comments. Mr. York, would you start us out tonight, please?
Yeah.
Have you figured out yet? I go back and forth.
Yeah, I got it now. Yep. Yeah, just wanted to say not a lot for me. Thank you to everyone for coming out. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to say something with Sweep Clayton Clean coming up. Also, visit our Meadowbrook golf course out there. It's getting that time of year. Go out there and, if it's raining, use the simulators down there. If not, then play around the golf. It looks very nice out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kelly.
Good evening. First of all, it's National Nurses Week, so thank you to all nurses that have given your time. It's a hard job. Continue to keep us safe. And also I wanted to say thank you, Davida, for your open house with Bushel and Peck. Another successful open house. She is going to have one in the fall, too, as well. So thanks for your support. And congratulations to Bella Sorella, the Libby Pass. It was great. Look forward to being served with Bella Sorella now. And last but not least, happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Ms. McDowell.
Good evening. Thank you for attending the meeting tonight. We value your input and opinions. Please let us know how we can better serve you, our community. Stay connected with your neighbors to help ensure that our city remains a safe place to live. I would also like to acknowledge the brave heroes who gave their lives for our country, as well as the ongoing sacrifices made by men and women who served in the armed forces and those who are currently serving. I am grateful for their courage, commitment, and dedication, to protecting our country. Happy Mother's Day, happy Memorial Day, happy Nurses Week. I'm one of those nurses. And honor and recognition of Mental Health Month. And stay safe and well. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. McDowell. Mr. Henning.
Also wanted to congratulate Bella Sorella on the passing of issue 5, so they can now have spirits and wine at that location. So we're very excited for that. Wanted to congratulate and recognize Northmont Superintendent Tony Thomas. We were all invited to an open house for him on May 14th. He's been with Northmont Schools for quite some time now, and he has done a tremendous job. So we're very grateful for his service, and he's also a Clayton resident. So we wish him many years of health and happiness here in Clayton. And then finally, also wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom, my wife Natalie, mother to our 2 boys, Clayton and Henry, and all who are celebrating. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bustos.
Good evening. Thank you, everybody, for attending. It's pretty exciting to see all the students here. I don't remember when I was in school ever having to come to a meeting like this, and I think it's really great. I also wanted to thank our poll workers. They worked so hard this week. I know I went to a location that was pretty busy, and it was seamless. They got us right through without any issues, and it was just like a clock ran there, and I thought that was great. I also want to thank you, Elaine, for spending time with me and explaining a lot of the Hunter's Path 4 so that I could really do a good job understanding it and be able to explain it to people. I think that makes me feel so much better now that I understand it all. And also, Chief, I'm pretty thrilled about the new ordinances for the trailers off the road, and I really appreciate you putting those through. So thank you, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Ms. Bustos. I think a lot of the points I wanted to make were already said, so I'm not going to repeat those. What I wanted to highlight tonight was that last council meeting, council approved me to appoint members of this residential zoning review special committee, and my wife was kind enough to remind me that within the ordinance that I had 14 days to get that appointed. And if anyone had called me on the 1st, I could have said, yeah, I got it all appointed. But I wanted to read off who's going to be on that committee. Our first meeting will be this time next week, well, May the 14th, 7 o'clock, here in the council chambers. We're going to have 6 elected and appointed officials and 6 residents serve on this committee. I'll be serving as the chair. Ms. Bustos and Ms. McDowell will be joining the committee as members of council. Mr. Patrick Ernst will represent the Planning Commission. Mr. Bob Madewell will represent the Board of Zoning Appeals, and Mr. O'Harleman will represent the Parks. So that's who your appointed officials are. I got to get my glasses. All right. In terms of residents, did a thorough search for representing Ward 1. Mr. Sam Cox will be representing Ward 1, and he'll also be bringing his JED perspective. And Mr. Nick Sheeter, young man lives on in Ward 1, will be representing as well. For Ward 2, and Kenny, you may have to help me on this, Mr. Filippo Billingary. All right, so Filippo, I got your last name right. You can congratulate me at the meeting. And then Ms. Kathy Griffin will also represent Ward 2. And then to represent Ward 3, I have Ms. Janine Thomas and Mr. Terrence Woodruff. And public is welcome to come to the meeting, and we'll try to make accommodations if you'd like to address the committee with any specific residential zoning concerns you have. We're going to try to capture that. Our first meeting will be some intros, talk about our primary objectives, and probably have a little homework for everybody to do before our next meeting. It looks like we'll probably meet monthly, if not sooner, depending on how we determine a committee is what our agenda needs to be going forward. Our goal is to have a report to council, hopefully in the fall, at least before the end of the calendar year. We'll see how it plays out. We're trying to keep it narrow because this could certainly spin out of control into a lot of complicated areas. So we will note some of those complicated areas for perhaps a follow-on committee or follow-on discussion, but we will focus in on what we do about residential zoning. With that, I'll just add, Chief, thanks for coming out this evening to share your perspective. Appreciate all you do and what the police department does, as well as fire department and all of our staff. They do a fantastic job. They are multi-hatted in so many ways to bring the most efficiency to our city, and I thank you. With that, we have an executive session this evening. Law Director, what is the purpose of that?
To discuss pending litigation.
Motion to
move for
move
approval.
to, yep, move to
Go ahead.
executive session.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. York to go to executive session with a second by Mr. Henning. Clerk, if you would, please call the roll.
Ms. Bustos?
Yes.
Henning?
Yes.
McDowell?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
And Farmer?
Yes. So we'll be moving to executive session. Why don't we take correct me if I'm wrong, Law Director, I'd like to take a 5-minute recess to reset the room, allow students to get their papers signed, and folks to leave. We will do executive session in here. So thank you all for coming. You're welcome to stay outside for as long as you want and come back for the closing, but it won't be real exciting. So
No action will be taken, right?
no action will be taken after the executive session.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
No, you have to go back into regular.
Do I have a motion to return from executive session?
Move for that.
Second.
A motion to return from executive session by Mr. Henning with a second from Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we have returned from executive session.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion adjourned by Ms. Kelly with a second by Mr. Henning. Any noes? Meeting adjourned.